lying on the floor, just letting yourself be comfortable. Of course, you could do this at home on your bed. You could do this in sitting. But we're going to go through a series of breathing, connecting to our breath. I think if there's only one thing that you could do to make your life a little easier and lighter, it would be connecting to your breath. So as you're lying here, just begin to feel how your breath comes and goes, not doing anything to change it or fix it or make it deeper or fuller, just what's happening in the moment. And place your hands on your lower abdomen and just see if you can feel your breath expanding your belly, so that as you inhale, your belly lifts towards the ceiling and expands, and as you exhale, it relaxes. And then a few times, just exaggerate that a little bit, so that as you breathe in, you're actually trying to press your belly out a little bit. And I remember one of the first times, years and years ago, I did this lesson, and the idea of pressing my belly out, at that point I was kind of in my mid-20s, so I had spent a considerable amount of effort learning to suck my belly in. So that was just a foreign idea to me. And now I've got a nice full belly I can press out when wanted. And then after you've pressed it out for a few breaths, just relax and let the breath come and go easily and naturally. And then place your hands on your upper chest. Yeah, nice and high, just below the clavicles or the collarbones. And see if you can feel any movement in your chest with your breath. Does the chest rise and lower? Now, some people are natural chest breathers. They've learned to suck and tuck their bellies, the way the culture and some Pilates teachers might think is appropriate. So the breath has to go somewhere. And sometimes it'll go into people's chest. People who have breathing problems end up using a lot of muscles in their neck to actually lift their chest to help facilitate their breathing. And then take a few breaths where on purpose you're really trying to press your chest out on the inhalation. Breathing in and on purpose lifting your chest, and then just letting it go on the exhalation. And do that 3 or 4 or 5 times. And then, when you've done that a few times, just let go of the effort and just see what's left over. What's the natural, available movement in those upper ribs as your lungs fill with air, and we just learn to let the ribs follow. And then keep one hand on your chest and place one hand on your lower belly, just following the breath, noticing what's there. And then I want you to take one breath, and as you inhale, expand the belly, relax with the exhale. And with the next breath, expand the chest with the inhalation. And just alternate in this way a few times. And when you've done that 4 or 5 times, just let it go and see what's available. And then let's try something a little more unusual. This time, when you exhale, see if you can press your belly out during the exhalation. So this is not a normal, natural thing. In Feldenkrais, we call this differentiation, which is a way of doing sort of what's opposite of normal, because then when we come back to what's more normal, something frees up. So a few times as you inhale, trying to press your belly out. And you might notice it doesn't press out very much or very far, and that's okay. Don't strain, don't work too hard. Just bring some attention to that possibility.
So press it out when you're exhaling?
When you're inhaling.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no.
You said exhale.
Yeah, exhaling. You're right. Pressing out when you're exhaling. Sorry. And then just let that go. And then a few times, try pressing your chest up and out on the exhalation. Again, a fairly unnatural movement, but just something to bring your attention to so that when you let go into the natural, often there's more natural movement available. And then let that go. Just take a few natural breaths, noticing what's available in the movement of your abdomen and your chest and ribs. And then try alternating a few times, exhaling and pressing your abdomen out, and then exhaling and pressing your chest out. And always listening, making sure that any of the movements I suggest don't seem too strenuous or harmful to your system. Sometimes if we're in a flared up state, just efforting can add to that flare up. So What's most important with all of these lessons is that you're listening to yourself, and sometimes you're just ignoring the instruction because you know at this moment this might not be the best movement for you. And if you haven't yet, just let it go and just take some time and feel what's the natural breath that is present now. How does the breath show up in your chest, in your abdomen, and all the ribs, the three-dimensionality of the ribs? So is there any breath showing up in the sides, in the movement of your ribs on the right and left side? Is there any breath showing up in how you become aware of the pressure into the floor? And we'll grow this breathing theme with our next lesson next week. Thank you.